Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today's video I'm going to show you how to create a React.js CRUD application with Laravel API, and let's get started. Before start, I want to show you the demo how it looks at the end. So let me go and show you. So if I go here and you can see that there is a listing page, and if I click on create, and there will be a just called demo1 demo body. Okay, I'm just adding the two, title and body, and click on submit. You can see that demo1 demo body, and if I click on edit, I can add it as well. So just I'm adding 3 dot on title, just submit. You can see that they updated, and now if I click on show, I can view title and body. Now go back, and if I want to remove that record, I can remove it as well. So if I click on it, and are you sure you want to remove? Yes, I can remove it as well. So if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe my channel for more videos about React. So now let's get started. Now we are going to create the React app. So let me go to my terminal and run npm create, and we are going to use with React app. So instead of React app, I will just call React CRUD app and dash template and call React and hit enter. It is going to create new React application, and it is asking which framework you want to select. I will choose React, and which variant you want to use. We are going to use TypeScript. Okay, and then you can see that it installed. And now let me go to the React CRUD app, that directory, and then we need to run npm install. So it is going to install all the dependencies of the React.js app. Okay, so let's wait a moment to download all the dependencies. Okay, after install, we are going to also install OxyOS and React router DOM, because we are going to use the router. So npm install OxyOS and React router DOM, hit enter, and you can see that OxyOS for call the APIs and React router DOM for routing. So now let me clear it, and let's open our React application on VS Code editor. So code.o. Okay, and it's going to open our application to the VS Code editor. So you can see that there is a perfectly fine install the application, and you can see that app, CSS, main, TS, and all the files perfectly fine. Now let me go and just run our application. So npm run dev. Okay, and you can see that it's run on 5173. So just copy that URL and go to the browser, and you can see that Vite plus React application is installed perfectly fine over here. So that means what we need to do next, we are going to create the CRUD application. So first of all, I am going to create new post list component. So let me go here, and inside the src, I am going to go and create new folder called pages. Okay, and inside the pages, I'm going to create new file called post list.tsx. Okay, because we are going to use TypeScript. So now what I'm going to do, export default function. Okay, and function will be post list. Okay, and here what I'm going to do, just return div. Okay, and just call div, and inside the div I am going to just add one h1 that's called CRUD app. Okay, and just save it. Okay, so that means very simple over here. Okay, and maybe return. Okay, just save it. So that means we created a component post list, and now let me go to the app.tsx. By default this is going to run, and what we need to do, what we need to change over here is, let me remove this entire thing over here, and also let me remove this. I'm going to use div. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, I will define the router over here. Okay, so what I will do, just call routes. Okay, and inside the routes I will call route. Okay, and first route I will be defined as this slash. So I will call path equal to slash. Okay, and then element equal to, I'm going to call the element call post list, okay, and you can see that it's also going to import over there, okay, and just like this way. So when you are going to call slash, that means that post list will be apply, okay, and I'm going to just close this so I don't require to separately close, okay. And let me import the routes and route over here, okay. So how can we import this? So just go here, and yeah, there is a lots of thing over here, so I can remove that we are not going to use, okay. Remove this one and just I will call react and routes I will import, and comma route from react router dom. Just save it, okay. So then you can see over here we just imported routes and route from the, maybe spelling over here, from the react router dom. So save it, okay. And let me also remove this counter as well because we are not going to use. Just save it, okay. Now what I need to do other change is main. Let me go to the main.tx, and here we are going to use the strict mode. Instead of that we are going to use browser router, okay, and let me use this. Save it, okay. And now let me go and let's see, okay. So let me go to the application, and you can see over here there is a CRUD app, so that means it is working perfectly fine over here, okay. Now if I go and just I'm going to remove the other all the css, okay, because we are not going to use this. Save it, and you can see over here there is a basic CRUD app, okay. And now let me go again over here, and I'm going to add new class over here that's called font bold. This is Tailwind CSS class. Just save it, and if I refresh, it's nothing happening over here because we need to install the Tailwind CSS. So let me go to the documentation, and you can see that in this link there is a provided how to install the Tailwind CSS. So just you need to copy this command and go to the terminal, and just I'm going to paste, and it's going to install the Tailwind CSS in our React application, so we can use all the Tailwind CSS classes. So let's wait a moment to install the Tailwind CSS over here. Okay, after install, what you need to do, just go here again on the documentation. They already provide how to import, so just go to the config file. So go to the vite config and use this, okay. And then you just need to use this function as a plugin. So go here and comma route Tailwind CSS, save it, okay. And now next what you need to do, you need to create new style. So just copy this, okay. And what I'm going to do next, inside the src I'm going to create new file called styles.css and just paste this, okay. Just save it, okay. Now what you need to do, you just need to give your path over here. Just copy this and go to the HTML and just paste it over here. Save it. Now let me go here and run again the application, npm run dev, okay. Go here and just if I call refresh, you can see that CRUD app, so that means that working our class fine, okay. Now let me go again over here and just add the class over here p6, okay, and just save it. If I go here, you can see that some spacing over here. So now you can see that there is a CRUD app over here, okay. Next, what I'm going to do for this, I'm going to create new post service and interface, so that way we can use it, okay. So now let me go here and create new folder over here called types. Inside the types, I'm going to create new file called post.ts, okay. And here I'm going to use export interface, okay, because this interface we are going to use everywhere, okay. Just post and define the id will be number, and then title will be string, okay, and then body will be string as well, okay. So you can see that we have just defined our interface, and this interface we are going to use everywhere, okay. Now what I need to do next I'm going to create a new folder called services, okay. So just call services. Okay, and yeah, this is the correct spelling, because rename it. Okay, inside that I'm going to create new file called post service.ts. Okay, and here I'm going to create new variable call const, okay, app underscore URL. Okay, so first of all we are going to define our app URL. That means if you have already API created of other website, or you want to create API with the Laravel, or if you want to create API with the Node.js, you need to give the URL, so that way you will have all the REST API URL will be follow this URL. So now we are going to create the API first, and then we will put the URL over here. Basically we need to create the CRUD APIs like this way. So first API we need to create like get post, and you can see the get method, and it should be like API slash post, and whatever prefix you have, like admin API or whatever, v1 v2, so that will work. But for now, for this example, I'm going to create API slash post. And then next API we need to create for create post, and there is a post method, and you can see that API slash post, that URL same. And then next API we need to create for get post details, so you can see that method will be get, and then you can see that at the end you need to pass the ID. Okay, and the fourth one we need to create for update post, and method will be put, and then API slash post slash ID we need to pass like 1 2 3, and then slash update. Okay, and the final one, that is for delete post, and method should be delete for it. And you can see that HTTP, and you can see API slash post, and at the end you need to pass the ID. Okay, so this is the API we need to create. If you are using Laravel, if you are using Node.js, if you are using .NET, then also will work, and that will be fine. Now I am going to create a new Laravel application for creating APIs. Okay, so before create Laravel API, make sure you have installed the PHP, Composer, and MySQL as well. So I'm going to create new application using Laravel new command. Okay, hit enter. It is asking for the project name, so I will just call Laravel-API, hit enter, and it is asking for starter kit. I will say no, and just use the paste, and it's going to install the Composer dependencies. So let's wait a moment. Okay, and it is asking for which database you want to use. I will use MySQL, and it is asking database updated, but do you want to run migration? I will say no, because I need to steal settings like username and the database as well. So just say no, and it's going to do the rest of all the things. It is also asking for npm install. I will say no, because we are just creating the API. Now let me go to the Laravel API. Okay, and let me just clear it, and let me open this project to the VS Code editor. So just code.o. okay, and you can see that project is open on VS Code editor. Now let me go to the configuration file env, and here you can see that it just added MySQL, and you can see database also they have added Laravel underscore API, and I have created that database as well over here in my table plus. You can see that Laravel underscore API. Now let me go, username is root and password is also root, so just save it. And now let me go back to terminal and just run php artisan migrate. Okay, and you can see that it is working. Now let me go again table plus and just refresh. You can see that there is a default tables are created over here. Okay, now what we need to do the next, first we need to create the model for the post and migration for the post, because we are going to create the API for the post. Okay, so let me go here and I will call just php artisan mac model post and with migration as well. Okay, so now let me go here and let me go to the database migration, and at the end here I'm going to add string data type with title column and then body column with text data type. Just save it, and now let me go and run the migration again, php migrate. Okay, And now let me go to the table plus and hit just refresh. You can see that there is a post table is created with title and body. Now let me go here and go to the model, and here we already created the post model, so I will just say protected, okay, and fillable, and I will just say title column. Okay, let me define the column name and body, so we can use this variable. Okay, just save it. So that means we just define the column name over here. Okay, next what we need to do, we need to install the PHP API. So let me go here and let me clear it and just use PHP artisan install API. Okay, so that means it is also, if I go here in my application and click on routes, there is just console.php and web.php, but Laravel automatically add the api.php as well when we installation is complete. Just hit enter and it's going to create the api.php file as well. Okay, so let's wait a moment to install. And do you want to run the migration? I will just say yes for now. Okay, and now let me go here and you can see that there is a api.php. So that means we can define over here the API. Right now we are not going to use any authentication, so I can ignore the sanctum as well over here. Okay, and now let me go, and first of all we are going to create REST API for post. So I will just call PHP artisan controller PHP artisan Mac controller. Okay, and I will create the post controller and resource controller. Resource controller, that means you don't have to define index, create and update method, it will automatically create. Just hit enter. And now let me go to the VS Code editor, HTTP post controller. You can see that index, create, store. So that means I don't have to define every time that method. Okay, so now let me go and define the routes for it. So just route resource, okay, and post. Then I'm going to call just post controller colon class. Just save it. And now let me go and let me clear this PHP artisan route list. Okay, and hit enter. You can see that what we have a route because we use the resource route. So that means they have created API/post with the post controller @index. So that means post controller index method will call. Same thing for create route API/post, and that will be called store method. Same thing for the get, like if you want to get the detail of post, then it will be used the get method with, you need to pass the post ID and it will be called show method. Okay, same thing for the update. So you can see that over here put method, and here it call update method. For the delete, it's called delete method, and it will be called destroy method. So this is automatically created the API. Now one by one we need to create and take a look, and we can check on post main. Okay, so let me go and just go to the controller. For the index method, I'm going to return response JSON, and I will just call hello. Okay, so that means we are going to checking. Okay, and now let me open the postman. So let me go to the postman and let me run the application as well. Okay, so just I will call PHP artisan serve. Okay, so it's going to run our application. And now let me go and open the new over here, HTTP localhost colon 8000/API/post. Okay, and now if I click on send, and you can see that we are going to return the JSON response as a hello. So that means our listing API is working perfectly fine, because if you go here, this is the API we are going to call. Okay, now what you need to do, just I will get all the post and I will use the post model, select, and I will just select ID, title and body. Okay, and just I will call get, and then I don't have, because it's already in array, so I will just return all the post. Just save it. Let me go here and click on send. You can see that right now empty array because we don't have any post in table plus, you can see over here. Okay, next API we are going to create a create API. So let me go here and you can see that there is a post method and this API I'm going to create. Okay, so let me go here. So that's called the store method. So that means inside the request I will get the title and body. Okay, and then I will create the post and return that post. Okay, so what I'm going to do, $post, and I will call post colon create, and title I will take from the request. I'm not adding the validation over here, but if you want to add then you can add, because this sample example I'm going to make sure the pass title and body, so that's the reason I'm not going to add the validation over here. But when you are developing then you must have to add the validation for security reason. So just after create I will just return response JSON, and inside the JSON I'm going to pass id equal to post id. Okay, and then I will pass the title, and title also I will get from the post object, then body, and I will also take the body from the $post body and just save it. Okay, and now let me go here and now let me copy this URL, open new tab, and this method will be post method, and I'm going to pass title as a first post. Okay, and then body I will pass as a first body, and just click on send. You can see that I have returned the JSON response with the ID, title and body, so that means it is working fine with the create. Let me go here in table plus, hit refresh. You can see that they have created a first record with title and body, so that means our example post API is working perfectly fine. Now let me go back to the listing API and click on send. You can see that we are able to get the title and body. Now let me go and just call 2 and click on that. Okay, you can see that it's created another post, and go here in listing, click on send. You can see that 1 and 2, so that means listing API is also working fine. Okay, now next what I'm going to do, again go to the listing. Here there is a get method and you need to pass the post ID. It's going to call show method. Okay, so let me go here, and here I will find the post. From the post find $id. Okay, when I will be find I can return simply this JSON. Just save it. Okay, now let me go here into again postman, just copy that, and here I just need to pass the ID of the post. Okay, and just click on send. You can see that I am able to get the first post. Same thing if I pass the 2, and if I click on send, you can see that I can get the detail of post ID too. So that means this is detail API is also working perfectly fine. Now let me go and create update API for the update post. So you can see that it's called update method of post controller. So now let me go here, and here you need to write first I will get the post from the ID. So just I will call post find $id. Okay, after that I'm going to update the post. Okay, so title equal to request title. Same thing for the body I will do. So just call body, and at the end I will just call save. Okay, and return also same thing what we are going to return for show method and create. Just save it. Okay, now let me go here and call that API. Just copy that, open a new tab, just paste it for 2, and just I will use the put method, and here I am going to pass the title will be title up and body, so body up. Okay, and just if I click on send, you can see that ID number 2 and title up and body up, so that means that record is updated. Let me go to the table plus and hit refresh. Click over here, you can see that second number ID record is updated. So that means this way we can define the update, and update API is also working perfectly fine. Now let me go. You can see that last API we are going to create the destroy API. So that means like delete API. So it's going to delete the post. So you can see it's called destroy method. So let me go. And at the end, what I'm going to do, just use post colon destroy method, and you just need to pass the ID. So that means it's going to delete from the database and return response JSON, and I will just call post deleted. Save it. Okay, and now let me go and again copy this URL, go here, paste it, and I'm going to just keep 2. That means 2 number post I need to remove it. So I will call delete method, and if I click on send, you can see that post deleted. And now let me go again to the table plus and hit refresh. You can see that only one post left right now, second post is deleted. So that means this is the RESTful API we created with Laravel, so you can use it in our application as well. After creating the API, you need to paste your API URL over here, and next I'm going to create one function that's called get post, and we are going to call the API and getting all the post using OxyOS. So let me just call export const get post equal to function. Okay, and then here I'm going to use OxyOS. Okay, so let OxyOS dot get. Okay, and here I need to define using post interface, and that will be return the array. Okay, and then app underscore URL equal to that's call slash post. Okay, that means it's called the API and return all the post in get post method. Okay, just save it, and now let me go to the post listing. Here we just display the h1. I'm going to draw the table, and that should be a loop and display all the posts. So I have already created a table using my custom snippets, so I'm going to just use that. Just save it, and you can see that there is a table with the Tailwind CSS classes. Instead of class, I'm going to use class name. Okay, just save it, and if you want to draw this table using custom snippet, I already have a capture video, you can take a look there. Just save it. Okay, and now let me go. You can see over here there is an ID, and also I have added the create button, add it, show and delete button as well. Okay, now what I need to do the next is I need to go and use post services over here. Okay, so first I will define const variable. Okay, and here post and set post. Okay, and then I will use state. Okay, and here I'm going to define again post as an array, and if there is nothing, then it will be a empty array. Okay, just save it. Okay, now I will use effect to call our post service and get all the post. Okay, just use effect and like this, and here I will be directly use get post method. Okay, and then it will be return response and set post function we are going to use, and then you can see resp dot data. Okay, just save it. So that means we call get post method and get all the data from the API and store into the post. Okay, and now let me go here and let me use these over here like this, post dot map like this way. Just paste it over here. Okay, and make it proper format. Just save it, and now let me go. You can see that title ID there is 1 because we have a 1 record, but let me display the post.id. Okay, and also let me display the title, and let me also display the body. Just save it, and if I go here, you can see that ID is 1, first post and first body. So that means our listing API is called perfectly fine, getting record and display it properly over here. Next, when I click on create, it should be open the form with the title and body, and you can create the post. So let me go here into my VS Code editor and create a new file over here that's called post create.tsx. Okay, and then what I'm going to do, just go here and just copy this entire. Okay, and just paste it over here. Okay, and I will remove this. Okay, I'm not going to use this. Okay, so just remove this. Okay, and not like this, just remove. And the class name I will keep post create. Okay, and this I'm going to remove over here as well. Okay, delete, just save it. Okay, and now let me go here again, app.tsx file, and define the route for it. So just I will call create, and here I'm going to export that post create. Okay, just save it. And now let me go again into the post listing, and here we use the button. Instead of that, I'm going to use the link using React router DOM, and just save it. And now let me go here, and that's called to, I will add the path over here like this way, just create, save it. And now let me go here, and you can see that hover over, there is a slash create. If I click on it, you can see that CRUD app, but instead of CRUD app, I'm going to change the title, that's called create post. Okay, and here again I'm going to use the link. Okay, and this link goes back to the listing page, so I will use again to over here, and that's called slash. And instead of create, I will use back, just save it. And you can see that back, if I click on it, it's back to the listing page. If I click on create, you can see that in the create post page. Now I'm going to create the form using my custom snippet. So let me go, so don't have to design and take too much time. So just the form. Okay, and you can see that instead of class, I'm going to remove and use class name, just save it. Okay, and now if I go here, there is a name field over here, and you can see that validation message also remove. And instead of the name, I will use the title, and for I'm going to remove this, and I will call just like id will be title and name will be title as well. Okay, and enter title, just save it. If I go back, you can see that there is a perfectly title field, and we also need to use body. So just copy and paste over here, and I will call body. Okay, and instead of input, that will be a text area. Okay, so just call text area, and at the end text area will be removed, and name will be body, just save it and enter body, just save it. Now let me go, you can see that title and body. So this is the form design we have created, and it is working fine. Now let me go and define two variables over here, and let me define that const. Okay, and that's called title, and set title what we does for post. Okay, and use stat. Okay, and by default it will be empty. Okay, same thing I need to do for body. So just I will call body, and will be the body, and that will be by default empty. And now let me go, and I will define value will be title. Okay, same thing, if I go here, value will be body, just save it. After I'm going to add on change event. Okay, when on change, I will call new function over here, and that's called e set title. Okay, e dot target dot value. That means when you change the title, at the time it will be set to the title variable. I need to do same thing for body, so just paste it, and instead of title, I will call body. Okay, now when submit the form, I am going to use on submit method, and it will call submit function. Okay, so let me go here and create new variable, call const submit. Okay, and as an argument, I will get react dot form event. Okay, so that way we can prevent define as well. So just now e dot prevent default. Okay, and just I'm going to alert title for now. Okay, just save it. Okay, now let me go here, and I'm just adding the title and click on submit. You can see that I am able to get the title over here. Okay, now what I'm going to do the next, I will create new service. Inside the service, I will create a new function over here, call export const and create post. Okay, and as an argument, I'm going to pass the data, title and body. So now, and I will use post interface, but you can see that in the interface there is a id, title and body, but for the create we have a just title and body. So let me go back over here, and what I'm going to do over here, just I will use like this way. So just use omit, okay, post, and id will be removed from there, okay. And then let me go and oxyos.post method, and here return type will be only post object, okay, like this. And then app URL will be same what we have, but it is a post method. So let me go, and at the end I will pass the data, okay, just save it. So that means create post method we have created, and we need to call inside the create over here, okay. So what I'm going to do, just create post, okay, and then I'm going to pass as a JSON that's called title will be title, and body will be body, like this, okay. Dot then when it's done, it's going to redirect back to the listing page. So what I'm going to do, I will define again const navigate variable, okay, and I will use navigate function over here and just save it. And this variable I'm going to use over here and just pass URL. So that means it's redirect back to the listing page. Just save it. Now let me go here and first title, first body, okay, and just click on submit. You can see that it is going to redirect back to the listing page. So that means it is working perfectly fine for the create over here, okay. Let me go and again create, just test one, and click on submit. You can see that another record is created. So that means create page is working perfectly fine. Next, when I click on edit, it should be open the form with the editable, the title and body, and I can change it. So let me go here, and first of all I will create a new file over here that's called post edit.tsx, okay, and just hit enter. And now let me go to the post create and just copy that and paste it over here, okay. And instead of post create I will use post edit, just save it. And title also I'm going to change it like edit post, just save it, okay. Now let me go again app.tsx, and let me define the route over here that's called edit slash, we are going to pass the dynamic id. So I'm going to do this like colon id, and here I will call post edit, just save it, okay. So that means it's call. And now let me go to again post listing and go here, and instead of button I will use link over here like this, and just call link, okay, and I will call to, okay. And here I'm going to do like this, okay, edit slash dollar post.id, okay, and just save it, okay. Now let me go here and just hover over on it, edit slash 1, edit slash 5, edit slash 6. So now if I click on it, you can see that edit post with title and body, but it's not going to fillable. So now let me go here, and first of all let me create a service. So let me go here and I will create new service class over here, const get post, okay. And as an argument I'm going to get the id as a number or maybe string, okay. So I'm just going to define both, and oxyos.get method we are going to call, and return type will be post object, okay. So app underscore url plus slash plus id, just save it. So that means we are going to call the get API with the ID, and that will return the post, okay, just save it. Now let me go back to the edit, and first of all how can we get this ID from the URL? So I can use param function for that, okay. So let me just call const, okay, and ID I will take from the use params, okay, and just save it. So that means we are able to get the ID, and then I'm going to call the get post API. So how can I get it? Use effect, and then here I'm going to do like this, okay. And then if there is ID, then I'm going to call get post API, and ID as argument I'm going to pass. Then it will take the response, okay, and I will set the title from the response like this, data.title, okay, and same thing for the body, so just call body, and at the end that will be a body. Just save it, okay, and then as an argument I'm going to pass the id. So when we have a id, at that time it will be call this API and set the id. Just save, and now let me go, and you can see that there is a fillable first title and first body. Now go back, and if I click on the edit, you can see that test and test one, so that means this is working fine. Now you can see that here that's called create post. Instead of, I'm going to call update post method. So let me go to the post service and create a new function over here that's called export const and update post, okay, and it will be take 2 arguments. So let me go, and I will take id, number or string, and then I will get data, okay, and data will with have a title and body. So what we have defined over here in create, just copy that as a second argument, just paste it, okay, and now oxyos.put method, because we are going to use the put method over here, and return type will be post object, okay, and then I'm going to use app url slash post slash id, and then I will pass the data, okay, just save it. So that means we define the update method. Just copy that, and let me go here into the edit, and I'm just going to add update post, save it, and first I need to pass the id. Just save like this way. So rest of all code will be the same. Just save it, okay, and id has this, so yeah, that's fine. And now let me go here, and just I will add 3 dot over here and click on submit. You can see that our post is updated, you can see. And now let me go back again, edit, and again just up and click on submit. You can see that title is updated, so that means our update code is working perfectly fine. Now let me do for show as well. So now you can see that right now we don't have nothing. So let me go and create a new file for show. So I will call post show.tsx, okay, hit enter, and I will copy entire thing of edit. Just copy that, paste it over here, and we don't have a form, so I'm going to remove that. Instead of the edit form, I will call show form, and the function will be show post show, and let me remove this as well because we don't have a form, okay, and we just save it, okay, and navigation we are not going to use over here, so I'll also remove this. Just we are going to use get post, okay, just save it, okay. So rest of all is fine. So let me also create new div over here, and with that there is a p tag, and inside that strong tag I'm going to just display. If you have a more fields, you can make it proper design, but for now just title colon title, and for the body like this, save it, okay, and let me remove this as well, so unused things, okay. And now let me go to the app.tx, and here let me define the show route. So let me go and call show, okay, and here I will call post show. Just save it, and that define, we just define the route, and let me use this one as well from here. Just save it, okay. And now let me go to the listing page, and what we does for edit, I will just copy that, and instead of button I will call just link, and call link, and instead of edit I will just call show. Just save it, and now let me go back and click on show. You can see that first body, first post, okay, and if I click on show, you can see that. So that means our, and you can see inside our header it's going to show you the proper URL. So this means edit and show is perfectly fine, okay. Now when I click on delete, it should be remove the records from the list, okay. So let me go here and do it for that. So I will keep the button, and then what I'm going to do next, I will call on click function, okay, and then it will be call handle delete, okay. and then I will going to pass post.id. So as argument I'm going to pass the id. So let me go and create a new variable over here that's called const. Okay, and then I will just get id as argument, and that will be a number. Okay, okay, and then I'm going to call this function. Okay, so first of all I will confirm, so I'm going to use confirm jQuery confirm. So confirm, and then I will just keep simple message, are you sure? And if you say yes, then it's going to delete the post. Okay, so first of all let me go here into post service, and I'm going to create a new function over here. So just copy this. Okay, delete post. Okay, and I will take the id, number or string, and then I'm going to call delete method over here. Okay, and the same rest of all, just save it. Okay, so this function I'm going to use there. So let me go to the list, and I will call delete post. Okay, and I will pass the argument as id. Then I'm going to just call function over here, and what I'm going to do over here, I will just call set post. Okay, inside that I'm not going to call again the API, just dot filter. I'm going to use the method, and first argument will be p, and then if p dot id not equal to deleted id, just save it. Okay, so that means it's going to filter that deleted id from the post data. Okay, just save it. Okay, and now let me go here, and if I click on delete, okay, are you sure? If you say no, then it's doing nothing. But if you say yes, if I click on OK, you can see that it's removed from the list as well. So that means it is very simple and basic insert, update, delete with the React.js and using the API. So for the starting purpose you can use this. And if you like this video, then please share with your friends, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel for more videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video, guys.